Man, don't tell me to shut up, bro.
All
You
right,
don't run
well,
this.
now we are on. That's a great way to start the day.
Right.
You don't run this.
All right, well, welcome to the Underground. Let y'all introduce yourselves. Who wants to go first?
Hi, I'm Colton Evans, and I like wings from Wingstop.
There you go. I like that. Tell us something about yourself in the way, just like Colton did.
All right, my name's David Russell, and I like sports, entertainment, business, and anything that makes a dollar.
There you go. That's David.
Sweet.
Guess I'll go next. Is Rio.
I do.
I like anything and everything.
Keeping it simple. Keeping it simple. My name is Jamie. Some people like to call me Jaywalk. My mama call me Jam. I also go by Jamie Lannister every once in a while. Jamie Hendricks, Jamie Neutron, whatever you want to call me.
That's how I expect to call yourself.
Word to mother. It is. But that's okay though. It's gonna catch on.
Okay, what do you like? We're going with what we like.
His
I like
name,
people-
obviously.
I know.
Jaywalk.
I put a lot of thought into it. I like people, places, things, and ideas.
So nouns.
Nouns.
You really just gave us the definition of nouns.
He did.
Okay. Well, I am Maya or MJ, and yeah, I like doing this thing on the internet. So there you go. So our first topic we were going to go over was
That was vague.
not as vague as like Rio's. Rio's were like everything, like basically is what he said. All right. So, but we're going to start talking about the NBA free agency because there's a lot going on. Within like the first day, they made $1 billion worth of offers, and I think that's pretty crazy. So I'm not sure if you want to open up by talking about that. I know David had some things to talk about as far as ESPN.
Yeah. Well, the first thing I want to say is that what do you think is leading to this? Like, we all know the salary cap went up. Obviously, that's fine. But Mike Conley signing the richest contract in NBA history when he didn't even make the All-Star team last year, to me is, a little bit off-putting, because it's like, where do you start to evaluate what a player's worth actually is, right? So that's kind of where I want to open the conversation up. Why are these people getting this money, but why are teams so willing to just throw this bread in the air? I mean, they're making it rain. This is better than going to KOD. I mean, if you're in the league at this point, you get racks. Y'all laughing, man. I wish I was 6'2". I'm telling you.
Just 6'2"?
Just that's all I need.
Okay. There you go.
That's real, because anytime Miles got getting paid, like, hey,
Dellavedova got
real
$53 million from Milwaukee.
Deli getting money too.
Hold on, real quick. Look, can we cuss on here or not?
You can. I didn't. I'm not censoring you. The FCC does not regulate this.
She's the moderator right now.
Yeah. So why do y'all think teams are willing to throw this money up when we know how stingy they are, and when they are stingy for everything else?
Isn't some of it have to deal with the $24 billion TV deal that the NBA is getting from ESPN and Turner? So they have more money to give the players. Doesn't that play a factor? I'm not saying that's right or wrong as far as the money they're getting.
I think that's a factor if Kevin Durant was getting $153 million. It's not if Mike Conley Jr. is getting $153 million. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, how do we evaluate players now?
That's a good question, man.
Does anybody
That's
have
a
an
really
answer or
good
thought?
question. But isn't Mike Conley the best player on that team, arguably? So
Yeah, but I mean,
you have to play your most valuable player the most. I'm not saying he's the best player in the league, but if you look at their roster, isn't he probably their most valuable piece on the chessboard?
I mean, the object of the game is to keep. The object of the game is to keep your people, to keep the people who are gonna bring money in. First of all, because they got to draw the fans in.
But did you have to pay them that much?
So there you go, James.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Like, you gonna let them go?
No,
you got people like KD. You got people like
Yes.
KD, LeBron out here testing the market, testing the free agency and everything, signing 1-year deals. Like, clearly, like, the players have a lot more power than they've had in the past.
No, I don't know about that necessarily.
Everybody out here signing 1 year.
Brother, man.
Put it like this. Put it like
the
this.
players obligated to
Not in
51%
comparison to
of the.
LeBron and KD,
Put it
but
like this.
they have a lot more power than they did in the past.
If players are getting paid more, what does that mean? There's so as a business dude, right? There's assets equals liabilities plus owner's equity. If the players is getting more, that means the
Obvious.
owners was getting even more. So that doesn't mean the players have any more leverage because owners ain't willing to throw out money. Because I mean, if you look at 2 years ago, owners weren't willing to go into luxury tax at all. The only team that was willing to go to luxury tax was the Heat, and that's because we went to 4 straight finals. Besides that, I mean, Lakers occasionally.
You went.
Like he's truly a Heat fan. Get out of here.
Hey, I got the hat in the back. I can go get it right now. Listen,
You're a D Wade fan. Keep it
I'm
real.
a supporter of the team.
Baby.
I'm D Wade.
Anyhow, but what I'm saying is, so going back to what James said, right? He's bringing in people to the city.
Just starting a podcast.
Well, if Mike Conley is $153 million worth of bringing people to
You
the
should
city,
check it out.
what is LeBron James worth? What is Kevin Durant worth?
That's a good question.
I mean, where's the limit? Because it's gonna turn into baseball, where
KD could be.
paying people.
KD do a 1-year deal and then do a 4-year after that. That equals about $230 million for him.
And where do y'all think KD is gonna end up? This side question.
I think he'll stay in Oklahoma City.
I think he's gonna do a 1 year in Oklahoma City, see what Westbrook gonna do, and then leave.
So I thought
I
that
agree.
before Al Horford signed with the Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
Because is he meeting with them like tomorrow,
Yes.
or is it today?
And apparently the whole city came out, like Tom Brady, David Ortiz, like they brought everybody out for this man.
Nice pickup.
Really?
Yeah.
I think the only team that KD probably will go to is the Warriors.
Well,
And
I think
I don't like that,
I think-
man,
yeah,
but it's
don't you feel
possible.
like the Warriors have to give up a lot to get KD? And don't get me
Not
wrong,
really.
KD's worth
no,
it.
because he's a free agent.
They can get rid of Bogut to get him.
And get rid of Bogut, Harrison Barnes, or what's
But then he's gonna
I was
have
about to say
how
Harrison
much-
Barnes.
Barnes
definitely.
might sign with Dallas.
who?
Barnes might sign with Dallas.
Oh, I thought you were about to say
Yeah.
KD. I was like, no.
Dallas always felt they
Ain't
got
nobody
to play.
going to Dallas.
They thought Whiteside was going to Dallas, and I laughed.
I was about to say Dallas isn't like a destination that you want
They
to
thought
be.
Jordan.
That's
was going to
crazy.
Dallas.
Yeah, it's not. Unfortunately,
That's not the place you want to end up.
no state tax. We got a lot of cap room, but nobody wants to sign.
I was about to say, but
That tells you all you need to
as
know.
far as state taxes, you go to Houston, you go to San Antonio, like you can do whatever.
Right.
Nobody wants to go to something.
There's better options.
There's two other options in the state.
I mean, if you're talking about winning, San Antonio is a better option. You still don't have the state tax, or if you're talking about lifestyle, whatever you want to do, you can go to Houston.
So it depends on who you're talking about.
Houston.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I don't know a lot about
And
Houston.
they need to get rid of
The
Dwight.
lifestyle doesn't sound that great. It sounds
Dwight's
hot.
going
and
to
humid.
Atlanta.
Like I don't understand.
It just
Nice,
happened,
though.
but like,
Hold on. So
Nobody don't want to go there because James Harden.
back to
Yeah.
Kevin.
and Dwight.
I think from
The
a
white guy.
basketball perspective, he should go to Golden State for 2 reasons. He gets to shoot jump shots and not play defense. That's the 2 favorite things that he likes to do in his game. I'll be in 100,
pass
and he
the
don't
ball,
have to
though.
carry the team.
So how many shots is he going to get? Because Curry gets his shots and Thompson gets his shots.
Hey, everybody else on the team.
They got to figure that out because all 3 of them shoot often.
But I'm saying, like, they figured that the team has figured it out at this point. It hasn't been a problem. I think it'll be okay.
I
So
mean, they
for
could
me,
have.
What would
from a
Draymond
basketball
Green's role be?
perspective, the same thing he was doing, hustle
Same thing
points.
he's doing now, yeah.
Play defense and talk ish. And
Drop
make
a
the
bunch
other
of
team
dimes,
upset.
be some
But at the
energy.
same time,
Yeah.
Kevin Durant has stated on multiple occasions that he kind of would like to continue his career at OKC, and he also like talked about like maybe like retiring there. So
Well, look
I
at
don't know.
He said whatever decision he makes is from a basketball perspective. From
But-
a basketball
But
perspective,
just
that's
last
the
year,
best option for
but I'm
him.
just saying. But just last year,
I
he was talking about
disagree, man.
saying the
That's
whole
why I
time.
said
You think Oklahoma City's a better than Golden State?
You can probably leave though.
Oh, I didn't say
Yeah.
that. I think that he should
OKC
stay.
is
I'm
better.
talking to Colton.
Yeah, he should stay at OKC.
I mean, at the end of the day,
Oh, they're right there, bro. They had them
right
with
there.
6 minutes to
They're
go.
right
They
here.
pulled the
Golden
upset.
State is
They're
right
right
here.
there, bro.
So obviously,
You think they can
I
win with him? You think they can win with him and Russell though?
think
Yes.
we just watched.
In all
the last
honesty,
eight
in
If
all
he
years.
honesty,
stays, I think
the
they
way
get
the
the
way the
championship.
West
That's
the
my
way the West
prediction.
is
Yes.
structured, the
Hold
way
on,
the
hold on.
West is structured
Hold
right
on,
now,
hold
you
on,
think
hold on,
him
hold on.
and Russell
Forget
Westbrook
that, James.
win?
We didn't even talk about that. Empirical evidence shows him and Russell can't get it done because they never have.
Empirical
So what are we asking?
This guy right here, like,
Bro, they're right there, man.
We
It's a
already have
process,
that.
bro. It takes steps. It took steps for LeBron. It took steps for Michael Jordan. For Isaiah Thomas,
no,
it's a
and I
process,
understand
bro.
that. I understand that.
And you
I
know what they
understand
They're
that.
right
But
there,
they've been
bro.
together
They're
for how
right
many?
there.
And you can be right there every single year and not win it. Charles Barkley was right there with the Sixers. He was
That's
right
true,
there with
that's
the
true.
Rockets. He was right there with the
But as long
Suns.
as you're
And
viable,
they
my
got
boy,
Jordan
you
with
right
Jordan
You
there.
never got
all
to
that.
win.
You can't beat that.
Maya,
As long as you're
empirical
viable
evidence.
and you're right there, you can't beat that, bro.
You can't beat that. You can win.
Only one
Only-
team wins, bro.
I'm like
If
trying to
they're
control
right
everyone's volume because y'all are talking over each other, and every time I like, sorry.
One at a time. One of
That
the
would be
My
good.
bad. All right,
Y'all
go
got
ahead.
me over here
Fair
like
enough,
trying to
enough.
figure out how to work
She's
this
stressing out.
soundboard.
Hey, fair enough.
They got excited.
So basketball, I say Golden State. My financially, I say stay in Oklahoma City. I do see a perspective of going to a team like the Celtics. I also did think the Knicks was an option because his mother lives in New York, which a lot of people don't know. He's very close with his mother.
I think
I could
everyone
see
knows
that
he's
working
very
out.
close with his mother.
I didn't know a lot of people don't know she lives in New York though.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
It's a lot actually
I
going
thought
on
she
there.
lived with him. Like,
His brother lives with him. His mother lives in New York. She used to live with him though, but she moved to the city.
on his Twitter, he was talking about he was scared at night. He wished he could go just like lay in his mom's bed. This was a while back, but I was like, you kind of old for that.
First like 3 or 4 years of the league, she did live
We
with
don't
him.
need all this hearsay and speculation.
Whoa.
But
No, that was actually a tweet.
Starting
No,
theories and
that is-
everything.
That was not a theory. That was a tweet.
Maya out here being a national enquirer and stuff. And
But I
teams-
do see, maybe not the Knicks anymore, but I do see there being a reason for him to go to the East because, like you said, the West is structured the way it is. He's had a top 5 talent with him his whole career, hasn't been able to get it done.
And
Although now they
couldn't
do
get it
have
done.
better coaching. And going to the East, you have less obstacles. Although this year, I don't know what the East is going to look like because, I mean, so many transactions have happened.
That's true.
You
And it's
know
still
what I mean?
early.
Yeah, very early.
It's still early.
But I do think there's a chance for him to do it in the East. I just don't know what team in the East. Because all the power teams, like Chicago's a power team. They're dismantled. He
Yeah.
could go to Toronto, but he ain't going to T-Dot. So, Celtic Green, I guess. I don't know.
He gonna say no.
Him, Al Horford,
I was
him, Al
going
Horford, and
OKC.
Isaiah Thomas.
I'm with Rio. I think he's gonna stay in OKC and see what Russell Westbrook is gonna do.
But I feel like that
One-year
team, I
contract.
feel like
agree.
if they had got Horford, I'd be 100% high on that. But now, like, they're missing that piece. Like, they don't have no low post scoring. Like, besides Adams. And Adams is an OG triple. He looked like Pablo
Yeah.
when he come out with the mustache. I
No,
like him a lot.
Attila the Hun. That's what we call him over here.
He looked like Pablo.
What?
Attila the Hun.
Nah.
Okay,
He's definitely
I have to
Pablo.
drop that.
He's definitely Pablo.
Yeah,
If you look him up, you put in Attila the Hun. That's basically the same bitch.
Like, I like him, but like he's not gonna get the low post scoring done. Like Horford, to me, like that's a team. Like that's better than a Warriors coach. Like I 100% give you that. But without that piece,
They didn't have the low post scoring, and they had him beat pretty
no.
much, man.
But even though I didn't like Ibaka, but
Just in the
Ibaka still
7,
get like
yeah.
12 a game. You know what I mean? 6 to 8 rebounds. I think he had like 2 assists a game. Like that's decent. If you get Al Horford, that's 18 to 20, 8 rebounds, 4-5 assists, 1 block. Like you can mess with that. But now, I
Right.
mean, Kevin has
Their
to play
bench,
defense.
yeah, their
That's
bench
what I'm
wasn't deep
saying.
enough.
He can't. He don't want to play defense. He can't play defense. He ain't never tried to play defense. So now you've removed Ibaka, who played defense pretty much on premier defender on the other team's best player. Now you put Kevin in that
Shot too
position.
many threes.
Well, I don't know what's happened to him lately. I'm glad he's gone, but yeah. All right. So is LeBron staying in Cleveland? That's the real question.
Yes.
He ain't going nowhere.
I
He's
think
sending
so.
his kids to school in L.A. He got a house in Brentwood. He over there. He in your hood, Mike.
That's a reach, man.
I
Everyone
did
has a
not
I don't
house.
think he's going to LA. I don't think he's not.
Everyone has a house in LA.
Yeah.
What's wrong with Brentwood?
He's
No,
not
no,
going
I
to
said
LA.
I wish I lived in. You said he lived in my hood. That's not where I reside. I wish I resided over there.
I didn't say so. To me, it's not just about having a house there. It's about his kids go to school there. Yes, he has the money. He can fly back and forth and see his children. But like nobody wants to do that, especially his wife. Come on, now.
kids to the best school.
Yep, that's an option.
LeBron's not
I can
sending his
see that.
kids to go not live with him. That's just not happening.
We
He's
don't
trying to
know
make
his
Space
home
Jam
situation.
2. I mean,
What would he get to go to? What would he get
Can
from going to LA?
I just have like a question about this whole like Space Jam 2 because like in my mind the reason
That's
the first
negative.
Space Jam was so funny and so great is because like Michael Jordan literally made fun of his baseball career for like 90 minutes, like the whole movie. What are they gonna do? Like, what are they gonna make fun of LeBron for a whole 90 minutes? Like,
He's going to lose to the Monstars in the last 2 minutes of the game. He's
no,
going to choke.
they gonna make fun of his hairline.
He's going to choke. Oh, that's it.
I don't know what the storyline will be. It's a
yeah,
good
like
question.
He got still talent from other NBA players, so he can.
But the other thing is that there's
No.
just a level of originality. I mean, Space Jam, obviously, like it's a terrible movie. Like we can all
It's a one doneer.
It was amazing.
Hold on.
Michael Jordan made fun of himself for 90
This is
minutes.
what I mean.
It's a horrible movie, but as a kid, I loved it.
No, what I'm saying is, yeah,
I just saw it the other day.
it's not winning an Oscar, but
Space Jam should
That
be
is
one
the
and done.
best alien movie ever. Okay.
And have y'all seen LeBron's acting though?
I actually thought he did
He
a
was
pretty good
decent
job
in the last movie.
I
like,
think
Trainwreck.
people
The train wreck.
I think people gave him too much credit for that. I don't think that movie was that good.
Man.
Like,
What? I
no,
thought it
that
was.
shit wasn't.
What
That.
That's
was
the movie
Jordan in
supposed to be
Space Jam?
himself though,
He
right?
was he was funny, but it was because he was like such a bad actor too.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Well, they're all bad
That's
actors.
why it was.
that's what I'm saying. Like, people like,
Whoever like came from the NBA might be Ray Allen. Because he was up there with like Denzel Washington.
Right,
okay?
yeah, right, yeah.
But no one else, like they've like tried to like jump into acting.
First of all,
like Rick Fox, horrible. The
I
only
would
reason
like
he
to
gets
point
cast
out-
is because he's
I
attractive.
would like to point out Kazam was one of the best movies of all time.
Oh my gosh.
Shaq definitely deserves an Oscar for best actor.
It wasn't better than Thunderstruck though.
Oh, you're
Oh my goodness.
what is
That
that?
movie-
You answer mine. You answer mine.
Hold
That
on,
movie.
one at a time. One at a
That
time.
was that deal.
What is Thunderstrike? What is that?
That's the KD
Thunderstruck?
joint.
It was KD's movie. It was like a
It was
mix of
KD's
Like
version
Mike.
of like Mike, yeah.
No, but it was like Mike meets Space Jam because like a
Yeah.
little boy like takes his, I don't know, his
KD's powers.
You can't
Yeah.
even describe the movie to me, and you telling me this is a good movie?
That's what it is. Like
I was just
Mike
playing.
mixed with like Mike.
I already
mixed
told
with
you,
Space
I'm a
Jam.
Space Jam
That's a
fan.
good description.
Space
of it.
Jam is the best alien movie to ever be made.
And
Better
you know
than
what?
Men in Black.
Better than
I saw it from last week.
Hey,
I saw it
one
from last
KD
week.
mama
Better than E.T.?
was in that movie.
Mars Attacks. Mars Attacks was the best
Name
alien
movies
movie
no
of
one's
all
even saw, bro.
You ain't never seen Mars Attacks?
No,
Bro, Mars Attacks is hilarious.
That's so
bro.
funny, bro.
That movie.
We're very off track.
I need you to look.
I was about to say we ain't talking on topic at all.
Like true story. You
Bring
got
it back.
homework,
Bring it
David.
back. Bring it back.
You got
Okay.
homework.
So LeBron's staying in Cleveland.
Yeah,
Kevin's staying in Oklahoma City.
for a year.
Okay. So
They're both
LeBron
staying
got
for a year.
So LeBron's only signing for 1 year.
They're both staying for a year. LeBron
Why?
and KD.
Why?
What do you mean why?
No, I think LeBron just gonna keep doing the 1 year deals because he gonna make more, he get more money that way.
Rather than sign a $250 million deal or something like that?
He's exercised. Clearly,
I mean-
LeBron doesn't have a problem leaving.
Right now,
That's what I was saying about him
Cleveland can't give him
exercising.
that.
One at a time, gentlemen. One at a time.
Yeah.
Mr. Williams?
Oh, I was about to say right now, Cleveland can't give him $250 million. We already, what you say? We already looked at. They was like what, $30 million? Okay, $54 million over the cap space. They definitely can't go no more.
Okay. What is LeBron James worth?
More than
at
Mike
this-
Conley.
A lot.
At this point, you know,
You
they
know,
give it
his
deals
own
out like that.
He brought him
Astronomical.
back. He's the
One at
first
a time.
person. He's the first person to bring him down from 3-1. He brought the first professional championship to Cleveland, the city, in what 50 plus years. Like the man can write his own check, and
Alright,
he's
one
from
year.
he's from the area. He's like the
Can I say
hometown
something?
hero.
I just have
1
one
year
thing to
to
say.
say.
Million.
Just one thing to say. That is so overblown. They
What?
haven't had a championship in 30 years. You know how many cities you could say that about for specific
50
teams?
years.
A professional, like
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
any
Have you
sport.
ever heard of the Chicago Cubs? We were still
We talking
slaves
about
the last time they won.
But still, you had
You
the
realize that,
Bulls.
right?
You still had the Bulls dynasty though.
No.
Had
The
the same
Bulls
thing.
dynasty doesn't
entire
trump
city.
a
The entire
century. James, we was in the field, okay, the last time they did something.
But that's
That's
just
talking
because
about
that's
the
baseball.
Bulls.
Not
Plus,
14.
plus, on the other side of the city, they got the White Sox.
I just think that's so overblown.
That's
Cincinnati.
It's because you're trying to like compartmentalize it to just sports, like certain sports. Like
But
we're
you
talking
said
about
that
the whole.
Cincinnati.
That's apples
Exactly.
and oranges. It's
Exactly.
a complete different argument. It's apples and oranges.
I think it's over.
I'm talking about the whole city, not near professional.
Too bad.
And
The
half of that,
organization just ran
that's an
for it.
entire generation, yo. What are you talking
Yep.
about?
1964 is not an entire generation.
Okay.
That's
Them people
50
still
plus
here.
years.
Okay.
And those people, now they're middle aged. They still around. They still got time.
Most of those people
They're
are
not
dead,
even,
man.
they're not
Let's
even
be
able to
honest.
get their social security check yet.
The people who are alive who saw that last championship.
Okay, that actually like remember it because like you can
They're
be
not
like
in the
2 years
workforce
old.
anymore.
You know what I'm talking about?
Okay. Yeah.
I just think it's overblown, but that's just me. Whatever. Y'all all sentimental. That's cool.
I don't understand why you don't like LeBron. He came down. You were a Miami fan. You were feeling him then, weren't you? Like,
No. Hey,
And I
all
was
of y'all
a
know.
hater.
All of y'all
I can't
know.
stand the
I love
guy.
I supported the brother.
I
because
can't stand the guy, but I appreciate what he did
Okay.
for the city.
I'll tell you what. I don't like
I
LeBron.
recognize
He's a
that.
bitch.
I
I'll go
respect
ahead. We can
He
start
doesn't
that.
like any player except D Wade.
That's not true. I just think LeBron's a bitch. Everything about
don't
him
know the
is
guy.
so fabricated. You don't know him and you a fan of him. How you a fan of a nigga you don't
I'm
know?
a fan of a player. I don't know him as a
Wait,
person. Too
you're a
dislike
fan of
him.
D-Wade, you don't know him either.
Exactly.
But I'm not using it. I don't know somebody. I know that. I'm aware of that. This is why I don't like LeBron. I don't like LeBron because LeBron to me is all show and no substance. Okay? When Eric Garner got killed, when all these people was getting killed and they was marching in the street, LeBron was putting on a t-shirt. Would Jim Brown have put on a t-shirt or would he have got on TV and said something? Like
Players
that
talk
to me-
anyway.
No. Like
Time out.
these sending out
I don't think
tweets-
that's even like relevant.
Time out.
It is though. Like
You can't
the
expect.
Michael, what did
it's not
Michael
about.
do?
It's not about expect. No.
Okay, wait.
No. Y'all missing the
You
whole
can't
point.
expect
No,
every-
no,
you
stop,
expect
stop,
everybody-
stop.
Wait. Okay. One at a time.
Y'all didn't listen to what I
She's
was
like
saying.
Tony Reali
I
right
didn't
now. She's
say
about to start
anything
muting
about
everybody
Michael
to
Jordan.
that point.
But this is the difference. I hold people accountable to the standards they set. Michael Jordan got on TV and said, "Republicans buy Jays too. I don't want to speak on these issues." O.J. Simpson did the exact same thing. I don't judge him and say, "Hey, he should have." We ain't talking about that. I'm just
So
saying.
what precedent?
He
What
said,
precedent?
"Hold on,
did LeBron set? When did he
LeBron,
put?
every time he has something, he wears a T-shirt. When Trayvon happened, let's all take the picture and huddle up, put the hoodie on. Like that's so weak to me. If you want to have a real issue, have a real say on something that's happening in society, then have that. Putting a T-shirt on ain't making a fucking stand. It's making somebody money who made the fucking shirt, and I can guarantee you that money's not going to them families.
So what player makes a
Do you know,
stand?
what
player makes a
did you
stand?
did you audit all their finances
That's the whole
though?
point. I'm
Did
not
you
judging.
audit all their finances? Did you go in through the books and check every single record?
Exactly.
Did you go? That's what you did. You were the bookkeeper for LeBron. How do you know that it didn't go to the family? And when did he actually set a precedent? When did he actually set a standard to where he's going to be like the Muhammad Ali of our generation, to where he's going to be the Jim Brown of our generation?
So you're telling me that
where
LeBron
he's going to be the Jesse Owens of our generation?
So you're
He's
telling
gonna
me
stand up and really make a stand.
LeBron's never tried to put himself out there like he's a social activist. LeBron's never did that.
How did you
Not to
measure
the,
that?
not to the level of a Jim Brown to what you're trying to compare him to.
I'm not talking no more. I ain't got nothing to say. Y'all niggas is tripping, bro. Straight
Is
up.
true or not?
Straight
I
up.
disagree
Straight
with
up.
you.
True or not?
Every time something
Muhammad
happens,
Ali aligned
he
himself with the
got a
Nation of
t-shirt,
Islam.
He got these.
He
He
went
got a
to
post.
jail for what he
LeBron
believed
tweets and
in.
Instagrams. No, I'm not. No. What I'm saying, LeBron Instagrams about every little thing that happens in society.
Wait,
whether
so you
it's
follow
society
him
or
on Instagram and you don't
No,
even
no,
like
no,
him?
no. I don't follow him on Instagram.
Good
No, I
point.
don't.
Good point.
No, I don't. When he did this little thing with Skip Bayless, when he finally won his ring and had his little Ultimate Warrior shirt on and none of my business, I don't have to follow LeBron James. That's ESPN material. I'm going to get sent that on my phone every day. I don't have to follow him for that. What I'm saying is that when something LeBron feels like he needs to step up and say something about, he makes sure that he says it. So he put himself out there as that. Like you said, Michael Jordan didn't put himself out there like that.
So when he feels
never put
strong,
himself out there
so,
like that.
so
what I'm
from
saying
your
is that
words,
if you're going to put yourself out there like that, then be about what you say you about. And that ain't being
So
about
what
it.
does he have to do to be about that? Was he have to go?
I'll give you the perfect. I'll give you a perfect example. If he wants to be about that life, when Donald Sterling got caught with that nigga shit, instead of LeBron saying, "Hey, we're gonna wait till next year and see what the leagues do," he would have said, "I'm not playing right now," and called that shit.
That is, no. Okay, I totally disagree with that. Like, because Chris Paul tried to pull that too. Like, and he actually was playing for the team that Donald Sterling was over.
Yeah,
In my mind, okay, here's my thing though. Mess happens at work all the time. Like, if I quit jobs or stop doing things that I'm supposed to do because someone was sexist towards me or was racist towards me, I wouldn't be employed.
No, I know that I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I'm not talking about the ideology of it. What I'm talking about is that they made it seem like they cared. We're gonna come out and not show our jerseys, and we're gonna not represent the team.
I think
if you care that much, then you shouldn't be playing.
No, not at all.
If you turn your shirt inside out, that's not doing anything.
David, if me and you were working together and something happened, and let's say someone was blatantly racist towards you, okay? Mm-hmm. I understand that I still have to work. Like, would I feel for you?
I get that, but what I'm saying is that for me to say, "Hey, I still have to work," but no, because no. There's two different things. It's different if someone's racist to me at work, and then I still go back to work. That's different. What they did was that someone was racist to me at work. I'm gonna bring it up. I'm gonna not support the team by turning my shirt inside out, but still working. If somebody was racist to work at me and I thought that it was that big of a deal, I wouldn't just say, "Hey, that person's racist to me at work." So when I go to work, I'm just not gonna talk to them anymore. Like, no.
The higher ups got rid of that guy.
Like,
Yeah, and that guy was still getting his paper. You know what I'm saying is that if you care that much about it, if y'all wanted him out so bad, then
they got him out.
Yeah,
They got
he
him
was
out.
still getting paid.
You can't do that.
Yeah,
This
he
is
got
what
out. He got out for $2 million.
Thank you. No, $2 billion. Thank you, Mario.
$2
That's what I'm saying.
billion,
Like,
$2 billion.
it's about the money.
And he
It's always
did
been
all of
about
You
the money.
already know who are in control, man. We can't.
Okay, so you,
Nothing we can do
so
about that.
basically,
So
basically, at the end of the day, you're mad because my man made a profit off of
No,
getting
I'm not
kicked
mad he
out.
made a profit. I'm
Are you
mad.
mad because?
No. I'm mad that the players literally said we're gonna wait and see what the league does, and then we'll decide if we're gonna do something 6 months later. When
what
when
type of
Doc
service
Rivers
do the
when
players
Doc
have?
But
Rivers
we
got
do
on
the
TV
same
and
thing. We
said,
do the same thing in society every single day.
I don't
We
care.
do the same
It's a
thing in
game.
society
This
every
is a
single day,
game. What's
right?
more important?
It's your
Society or
job.
a game?
Hold
Okay,
on.
no.
Okay.
You have to understand. While their job is to play a
Easier said
game,
than done.
it's still their job.
You're
You
right.
don't
You're right.
just walk
And when
away
people
from
was
it.
marching for civil rights, they was willing to give up their jobs and get arrested daily for something they believed in, not because I still have a job. People
Okay,
was willing to
it's
get
totally
off some bus lines.
That was
But okay,
like
listen.
No, it's
you
not
can't make the
different.
civil rights movement.
Yes, we can,
the whole
because they
civil
tried to
rights
equate it
movement
to
compared
that.
Donald Sterling. You can't do that.
No.
But even if you
When
do
it
want
comes
to
to
do that,
police brutality, it's the same thing. The NBA players do the same thing. We say something, we wear a shirt, life keeps going on. That's not making a difference. That's not changing shit. That's not even attempting to try to change shit.
but
They're
you're
ball
okay.
players,
Hold
not
on.
role models. That's what Charles Barkley said. Maybe
No, and I agree with that. So stop acting like
that.
you more Waddle. Take off the "I can't breathe" T-shirt. I don't want to see it. Don't put your hoodie
Just
on to
'cause you
take a
don't like
picture. I don't want to see it. No, because I'm saying you're not about what
You
you
don't
say
want to see
you're
it from
about.
no player, period, right?
So you just don't agree how they went
Multiple
about the
players
protest.
wore it. Even Kobe wore it. So
Is that what it is? You're just mad, like you don't agree with how they went about the protest.
That's not a protest.
That's a silent protest. That is a protest.
Okay. Well, if
Silent.
Gotti had to try that, tell me how.
Because that's how it happens all the time in like every situation. We'll go.
That's how it happened. Now,
Trayvon Martin, Eric
this is
Garner,
not how it always has happened.
all these things happen, and
Wait,
we'll have
David,
some kind of protest, but
They're not wearing a shirt one day.
we'll wait for the
David!
decision to come
Oh my
down.
gosh, let Jamie finish because y'all are talking at the same time and I can't control everybody's volume.
Go back, James.
So you're mad at like how the protest went down, and you're mad that they waited until the decision came down. But that's how it happens in every single situation.
Are you gonna ask me a question, or are you gonna tell me something?
No,
You
I'm
ask me
saying
why
though.
I'm
I'm
mad, or
saying
you tell me?
I'm presenting evidence of how it happens. I'm trying to.
Okay, you're presenting how it happens. You're asking me why I'm mad. I'm mad because that's what we define as a protest. That's not a protest.
So you're just mad because you don't agree that it is a protest.
It's not a protest. Like I said, if you look at
David,
other
are you out here in the streets protesting?
no, but I'm not saying I'm in the streets every day either.
a
Protesting.
mad podcaster.
LeBron never said he's out here every day protesting. He never declared himself a Jesse Owens. He never declared himself a Muhammad Ali or a Jim Brown, like you said, right?
Yeah, you're right.
He's mad because he wears the Ultimate Warrior shirt and you saw it on
No,
ESPN.
I don't care about those.
Let's bring
That's
it
what
back.
happened.
care about
We
that.
That's what
understand
happened.
where we all stand on LeBron, okay? So, some of us like him,
He's
some
still
of
a
us
terrible
don't,
person.
whatever.
He's still a terrible person. I
Okay.
just don't agree with David's argument.
And I got that.
That's all I'm saying.
So, but let's bring it back to free agency. Okay, so bring that back. So we were talking earlier, about how ESPN is doing and the $24 billion contract that was between the NBA, Disney, who owns ESPN, and Time Warner. So you were talking about how Disney stock was going down because it's directly related to ESPN. Can you elaborate? Tell us what's going on with that so we can.
Yeah, so basically what's happened is two things simultaneously happening. The first thing is that they are being dinged by stockholders because they feel they paid too much for those rights and they won't be able to make up that revenue in timeshare and space because people are streaming. Even like in your phone, you can watch ESPN. It used to be you could just watch games. Like now, you can literally watch. If anything is on an ESPN network, you can stream it on your phone. So it's just so many different ways and outlooks and avenues for people to be able to access content that the shareholders don't feel that the networks can make that back up. At the same time,
ESPN Go, don't you have to pay to subscribe to that?
no, as long as you have a subscription to some TV network, you have it.
Okay, so then people aren't cutting cords, like going to. I guess I'm concerned with how they're not making up the revenue.
No, I'm saying there's multiple outlets to it. But like I got a friend of mine, like he has Slingbox. Do you know what that is?
No.
Okay, so Slingbox is basically it's like do anybody know what Slingbox is?
Blade.
So Slingbox is basically you remember how we used to have like DirecTV when that first got big when you got the dishes and all that type of stuff outside. So Slingbox is basically a way that in your house, as long as you have the internet, you can like take this thing, you can put it on like a window in your house, and you can directly receive a feed without having to pay for television services. You just pay through.
Like a Fire Stick.
Yeah. So you don't no commercials, none of that. You only get the direct content, and that's it. And it's like limited in the channels you can get, etc. So more and more people are going towards, like I said, other mediums to watch sports.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah,
Okay,
my
so let
man
me get
had
this
this like
straight.
2 years. Yeah.
So, because that just sounds like using someone else's cable. Like, so I guess. So I guess I'm not understanding.
No, because Sling is directly accessing the content through the airwaves. So you're not bootlegging cable. This ain't the 90s no more. But but you're not paying for a TV subscription either. Like, you're not an AT&T customer. You're not a Time Warner customer. You're not any of that. You have the internet in your house.
And so he's able to get ESPN via.
Oh yeah, I watch games all the time. We watch the Super Bowl at his house.
Well, that's on like regular television though.
Yeah, but I'm no.
That's his point, though. Like, yeah.
Yes. He's accessing this content. Yes.
Okay.
You don't have to pay for cable or pay for.
No, you don't have to pay for cable. No.
What's it called? Dish or anything? Satellite.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
you still get all the channels, but you don't have to pay for it.
Yeah.
It just seems not
it's
right.
Just like y'all remember the other day, like when E talked to us about, like, he got that little, what was it?
A Fire Stick.
You got a Fire Stick. It's unlocked, and you can watch all the content you
Yeah.
want to watch, and you're not paying for it. So
Yeah.
Wait, so you can unlock these things now? Because I have like an Apple TV, but I have to pay for my subscriptions or like share passwords with my friends.
Well, if you have Roku and all that, yeah, you're not paying for a subscription. You're not paying for any of that. So.
What are you talking about? I'm not paying for.
Like a Roku stick? Like, do you know what that is?
Yeah, because I have an Apple TV, so it's like the same concept, but you have to pay for subscriptions. And
What I'm saying, the other mediums, not Apple mediums, like, you're not paying for the content. You just pay for the stick, and then you have access to the content as long as you have the internet.
Okay, but even on Roku though, you have to pay for like Netflix. You have to pay for like ESPN Go.
But it's not Netflix though. It's not like Netflix or Hulu. Like, you just pay for the actual physical thing. And then as long as you have the internet, like, that's it.
As long as the internet, you're good.
See, and that's what blows my mind here. That's why it feels like it's piracy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know.
Okay,
Maybe it's
that's why you can't just go buy it in the store.
Yeah, they probably have.
Yeah, because I was like, why haven't I heard about it? Like, I work in media. Like, what? Like, why have I not heard about it?
The industry kind of like getting a stranglehold on that stuff.
Broadcasting and cable, like.
Yeah.
So anyhow, so that's ESPN. They're having that issue. Like I said, Time Warner, they're just involved in too many mergers and acquisitions right now. So that's not necessarily affecting their stock price. They have a lot of other corporate governance issues and things like that going on. But
I guess in my mind, I don't understand with retransmission consent. So let's say people are using Slingbox, like because no one else knew what that was. So like, let's say even if 1 in 100 people are using that. Okay. ESPN still has the highest retransmission consent. So like, that means that Time Warner, for every subscription that it has monthly, they're paying like, it used to be $12. Like, that was back when we were like in college. I have no idea how much that is now. It's probably about $20 that you're paying just to have ESPN.
So that's the thing. So there's two things. So TV viewership is going down. That's the first thing. Second thing, so like baseball. The reason why baseball is able to continue to pay people, even though people say people watch baseball less, is because they don't sign national TV deals. They sign regional TV deals, right? That's why the St. Louis Cardinals, right? They can have, well, they don't have Pujols anymore, but when they did have them, they could pay them what they paid them because they signed a specific deal specific to St. Louis in that area. That's where the most market share is, right? When it comes to the NFL, when it comes to the NBA, they sign the national TV deals, right? So now those fees are being passed on to people who have cable, right? So when I first got out of college, my AT&T bill was like $112 a month, right, for 300 channels and all of that. Like, now my AT&T bill is like damn near $220, right? Because once they keep re-signing those deals, they have to pass those costs on to somebody else. So like I said, TV viewership is already going down, and people are trying to pay less. Now we're adding to that because if they sign enough, so think about it, this deal signed to set a precedent. So the next deal they sign, my bill's gonna go from 220 to close to 300. You see what I'm saying? They have to keep passing it on unless people are watching television. So.
Okay. So you had talked to me earlier about how you felt like they're gonna renegotiate that contract and hopes that ESPN is gonna pay, I guess, less. Well, Disney through ESPN is gonna pay less. Yeah. Don't you think that Time Warner would just opt to like try to take over more of it then? Because like they have so many more channels, and like the whole reason that like TNT and TBS started is because like the guy who owned Time Warner, he wanted to make sure that everybody could see the Atlanta Braves. Like, that's the way that like the Superstation even started. So like he's obviously very invested in sports. Do you think that he would just try to take over? Because like it's not like TNT runs great content. Like we tune in every Thursday night to watch NBA TV. So you do what I'm saying? Like so he would just broadcast more of it and try to ice ESPN out.
Yeah, I think there could be some of that, but I think at the same time, like this TV thing, like this isn't an isolated issue to just ESPN. This is TV as a whole, right? So economically, it has to make sense to all of them, and you know, there's not one network might have better margins, but they don't have better volumes in terms of increasing their revenue. So I think it's a more global issue, right? I mean, streaming, the Netflix. I don't really know how Hulu does. I don't really watch them, but like
they have all their own content
Netflix changed the game with the original content. Like obviously that's deviating from sports, but that original content, because it's lower cost, it's straight to, is gone, and I just think there's going to be other ways that they're going to have to distribute content, and ESPN, TNT won't be a distributor of that long term. They're going to be more distributors of the content. So
Go ahead. That makes sense too. Like I was actually listening to the radio the other day, and they had like a poll.
You were listening to the radio?
Yes.
You're talking about people don't watch TV, and you're listening to the radio.
That was cool, man. I got 8 tracks and everything. But yeah, no, we're talking about like Netflix and Hulu versus like regular cable TV, and they polled people about like, was Netflix content or Hulu's content better than even like paid cable? So like HBO, Stars, Cinemax, whatever. And I think it was something like 60 or 70% said Netflix and Hulu. They would rather just pay for that Netflix and Hulu account than pay for actual cable and pay for actual like paid cable or whatever. So like
that's why HBO like branched out to HBO Now. Like you don't have to have, because like at first to have HBO Go you had to have a subscription to HBO. Okay.
Yeah.
And so yeah, like you were saying, people are definitely like shying away from like getting actual cable, from getting like whatever Cox or AT&T, whoever they're paying for, and they're just watching their sports at the local sports bar if they have
to. Exactly, which I do a lot.
Yeah.
But the other thing too that we like, so if you look at like social media, right? So social media is this fun platform, etc. But they never were able to come up with a viable option as well as a viable plug for people to be willing to pay for that, right? Like we always say that, like, oh, we love Facebook, but I'm not going to pay $5 a month for Facebook.
Well, the reason you don't have to pay for it is because if you don't have to pay for something, it means that you're the product. They're like,
I know. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying though. The Hulu, like Hulu used to be free. When I was in college, I used to watch Hulu for free all the time. Hulu was able to change.
Okay, but here's the thing. Hulu was free. You could still have a paid subscription to it. That means you only got like the last 2 episodes, so you couldn't like binge watch on Hulu.
Now, when we first got to TCU, I was that's how I started watching Family Guy, because all the episodes was on it.
I started watching Heroes on Hulu.
Exactly, right. So what I'm saying is
I
that
y'all got it on it before I did.
Hulu and Netflix were able to change that, and people are willing and okay with paying for content. Like even when Netflix went up, I think it was last year or maybe the year prior, when they upped their price.
Just send me that email. I was like, bro,
but even still,
come on, man.
$10 for this year is going back up.
Are still
I can't do it.
People want to pay for it. But see, the opposite is true for the other networks. ESPN had to create an entire platform for ESPN Go to give away free content that they can't charge for. You see what I'm saying? They have to add, like, these networks have to give away more shit for free, whereas Hulu and these guys can charge more because it's still less than what you're paying for this, and people are okay with that. That's what the real problem is. Because long term, that doesn't work out. Because even if Hulu goes up, what is it, $12? $10?
No,
like
it can't be $12.
I mean, but even if it was, like, it's either that.
I'm saying right around 9 to 10 a month right now, and I'm hurting already.
You ain't hurting.
I remember the good old days of $7 a month. I was like, man,
$7 so damn cheap.
Man,
that's why one person.
All y'all got down when I'm in school. Like
that's why one person buy it and everybody else just use that person's password.
Exactly, because I sure use my sister's account.
I still use B-Wills.
Man,
I use my uncle's account.
Hey, this chick I used to kick it with logged in on my phone. I still ain't logged out that. That was 2 years ago.
All right, so
that's how you gotta do it though.
For real.
I know that we also wanted to talk about something that happened at the BET Awards. I am not privy to that situation. I just heard things about what Jesse Williams said. Do one of you guys know more about?
Man, you didn't do your research before the show.
I'm sorry.
Well, I seen it.
Okay, so you'll give us the rundown, Rio, of what happened?
Well, you know how my rundown gonna be, but I'll give it to
Okay,
you.
well then maybe we should get some. Rio, go ahead.
But no, look, so I was ready. So he won the award for humanitarian, and he kind of got it just for just being an activist and just doing stuff like that.
Being a humanitarian.
Yeah, right. So when he got up there, he gave his speech. His speech basically was talking about, people. Same thing, kind of on the lines what David was saying. People pretty much want to keep complaining about how black people, don't have equal rights, or this is happening, but they're not doing nothing to, doing it. But then they want to sit back and critique everybody else, like, oh, this person ain't doing it, but you ain't doing nothing either. So be quiet, don't say nothing. And then he was like,
I'm a
everybody,
fan.
and he talking about all the celebrities and stuff, like, how they got all this money and they talk all this good game and all this, but they still, out buying the brand name stuff and, supporting the people who don't support black people, and, that's pretty much what he was talking about. And, he had some creative ways of he was saying it. And so everybody, then it just went crazy on Facebook. Everybody talking about it. Then this one chick, I don't know her name, named Tommy or something like that. I guess she runs some type of like news something.
Fox News?
She ain't that big. And so she started talking about him, like, Jesse Williams, did he win a humanitarian award and did he get up there was the whole BT was about bashing whites, and
she called him racist for it.
But the thing is, he mixed his mama white.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
he
it's
did
like,
definitely white. He lighter than
yeah.
Got blue eyes.
So they was mad about that. And now I just seen something. Now they said they trying to sign a petition to get him fired from Grey's Anatomy.
First of all,
Really?
bring it back. It's Shonda Rhimes' show. She's not letting his ass go. Let's start with that.
Okay, can we bring it back even further? How long has Grey's Anatomy been on air? I feel like
It's been a minute.
like the 7th grade when it started.
Yeah.
Like, how do you even keep?
You were in
something that
7th
long?
grade?
Yeah, I think so. I think I was like in the 7th or 8th grade when that started.
Like, how old are you? Like, I'm lost.
We
I
are
think you're
saying.
younger than y'all. Like, I just turned 25. Like, oh my gosh,
okay.
I put my age out there.
Oh, you just turned 25? Oh, yeah.
She said, "Oh my God."
She's still a baby.
She's a youngin. So,
Anyway.
Yeah.
so Mario, so what do you think about what he said, and what are your thoughts?
I mean, I think what he said was right. What he was saying made sense. But it's like what I had a problem with was the people who all of a sudden they want to be like, you know what? Yeah, Jesse, right. Like, all y'all people out there still buy name brand stuff, shame on y'all, blah, blah, blah. But these are the same people who go stand in line for the Jordans every time they come out.
Right.
Basically, what he's saying is what y'all doing. Y'all want to sit up here and talk about everybody else, but y'all ain't doing nothing either. And still going and buying the name brand stuff. Me personally, what he said was true with shit. Hey, look. If I got the money and I see some shit and I want to buy it, I don't give a damn who name on it. I'm going to buy it. Name brand or not, so I mean, I support what he's saying, but I'm still gonna buy the name brand shit, and that's why I ain't on there protesting like these people talk about y'all buying name brand shit, because I know I'm gonna do it. But if you know you're gonna do it, then you don't talk about it.
But see, that's a different. But see, that I think we alienate people too much. You're either on one side or the other side. You buy name brand stuff, then you're not supporting the cause. Like, to me, that's nonsense. Everything is a brand. Whether it's a name brand or a non-brand, Asics is just as much as a brand as Jordan brand is. It's about how much we define as our society what brands are higher end, like
Right.
Balenciaga, or is it, Calvin Klein? Like, you know what I'm saying? So,
What was the first one you named? I'm obviously behind.
Balenciaga.
you know what I'm talking about, Mario, right?
Yeah.
Givenchy, like, you know what I'm saying? All that type of stuff. So,
You gotta listen to more rap, Maya.
you live in California,
Right.
That's what I'm
You
about to
gotta
say. She
listen
live in
to more rap.
Cali.
No, but y'all like make these assumptions about California. I like thrift shop. Do you see what I have on? Like I have like
you look cute.
Like,
freak headband. Like I'm not getting
came out with her African Queen outfit on.
Okay,
Sure.
well,
All
You
I'm
gotta
saying
listen
is,
more
I was in
Migos.
LA. I went to Rodeo Drive. The same streets that I'm talking about, them stores, they're there. I mean,
They right there. Yeah.
right there.
I ain't never over there. That's above my pay grade.
We'll go over there next time. You about to be a lawyer, fool? That's gonna be your every day.
She about to be. She ain't there yet. So what she
She
said.
next time I see Maya, she gonna have red bottoms on. You know what I'm saying?
No. I think we underestimate how thrifty I truly am. But anyway.
Okay, so
Like,
I think
once ever in my life.
You said what?
You said she gonna buy red bottoms. I think I only see Maya in heels like once ever in my life.
Yeah, because they're maladaptive.
Moving on. Colton, what you think about what Jesse Williams?
I'm gonna pretend like I know what that word means. Maladaptive. I don't know.
Hey,
It means if something was coming after me, it would like hold me back. It's not a good adaptation to have.
Oh, so Cali, you live in the real California, y'all, so you should be running
That's
around.
why you just gotta act like B-Cole, just laugh at it.
Like, I'm not like, on the Boondocks, we're talking about, can she run really, really fast in heels? No, I can't. No.
Hey, it depends on who coming after you. That'll change.
I'm kicked them off.
That's true.
You don't have to run faster than the person chasing you, just faster than somebody that you with.
That's
true.
So,
if Cole, you just not like I'm by myself, like. But anyway, let's keep
going. So, Colton,
I thought the speech was a good speech. I thought it was in good timing because he took advantage of a TV moment, an opportunity. He knew giving that speech that was going to go viral.
By the way,
so his timing was great, and he had a big platform to reach a lot of people because people watched that award show. It was trending on Twitter. I mean, although we have all these different platforms to not watch TV and all these different alternatives, award shows are still popular. So.
But let me say this too, though, because Maya, you asked me did I watch the show, and I did not watch it. But the night that it was on, I was scrolling through my TV. The BET Awards was broadcast on BET, MTV, VH1, like it was on
Nickelodeon. It was on Nickelodeon.
I was shocked.
Wait, I'm so.
It was on Nickelodeon.
Dog, I swear.
Oh, is it because it's all owned by Viacom?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're under the Viacom media conglomerate.
But that still seems weird for it to be on MTV and stuff like that.
I mean, it's not much of a difference between BET and MTV.
It was on 8 different networks, like name brand networks. I was like, yo, you're right, Colton. He definitely took advantage of
all of them are cross advertising nowadays.
Because I feel like this. Yeah. You got people like David Banner, Talib Kweli, Killer Mike. They speak on those same issues, but they don't have as big of a platform, so it won't reach the casual fan or listener.
But why is that, though? Because, I mean, Jesse Williams, he has a platform, but, I mean, I don't watch Grey's Anatomy. I'm not checking for what he got to say. So
I feel like we live in America, and this is a celebrity-driven culture.
So them guys you just named are celebrities.
No, okay, but what Cole said was he did it at the right time, though.
Okay. Because to me, if you want to be real about it, like Killer Mike was on the campaign trail with Bernie Sanders. Whether you're a Bernie Sanders fan or not, like that's taking a stand and really being about what you say you're about and getting out there and doing it. Like that I can respect. Right. Whether you're a Bernie person or not. You know what I'm saying? So
he's still not one of the bigger names in entertainment.
He's not one of the bigger names in Atlanta. I mean, you know.
That's no disrespect to him because I'm definitely a fan of his music, but
that's real.
My man called that.
Well, Killer Mike can rap, obviously. So James, what you think about the speech?
I actually just watched the speech, like right before this show.
We didn't need to know that, but okay.
Can I let me get my point across. Let me say what I'm gonna say. But yeah, I just watched the speech like right before this. Like Kodal said, it was definitely like very well timed. I think it's not something that hasn't been said before, like by many of other people, like throughout history. But kind of going off of what I think you were trying to get at, David, is like I actually saw like a thing on the internet, and this girl, and she was trying to bring like the whole light skin thing into it. So she kind of brought up the same argument, like, okay, Killer Mike has spoken on things like this, Talib Kweli, Mos Def, all these people, David Banner, all these people speak on all these same things. They all come from like the same culture, but nobody really listens to them. And then somebody like Jesse Williams comes up, he's light skinned, he has like nice eyes, whatever, and then all of a sudden everybody wants to pay attention.
I think that's more so of the moment than him being light skinned, personally.
Well, this is just the argument that she brought up. This is the argument that she brought up. And she brought up a whole bunch of valid points to it, too. Like, historically, everything, of course, you have, like, the house N-word versus, like, the field N-word. Like, who are the slave masters or the people in power, the people in authority more likely to listen to?
We're still N-word, so to me, it's irrelevant. Like, I get that, but, I mean, you're still a slave, so, man.
I mean, yeah, but you're more in like
Yeah, you
close
got to feel
quarters.
the fan hit your face when you was
Right, right. But you're in
somebody
like
still owned you. So
you have more close contact. You like have more contact with these people that you're closer to because they're in your house. Like
that's true,
you
but you're
value
playing
them more.
yourself. You're playing yourself,
No,
and
no,
you
no.
think that
I'm
you're
just saying.
equal.
No, I didn't say that.
So you saying me and Maya got a better chance than you, Jamie?
I didn't.
We had a better chance to run away.
I'm just bringing up an argument that I saw. And then there's another like the girl on whatever news channel, and she was talking about him that Mario was talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, Tommy chick.
Yeah. And I thought that was like an interesting argument too, because you have like her on that side, and she's like, oh, he's like a racist for bringing up these points, blah 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 blah. And then at the same time, there was Justin Timberlake.
I saw that, and I
like,
don't understand why that was a big deal. I thought it was. I don't see why that's such a big deal.
And people were hot.
What happened with Justin Timberlake?
People were hot.
Tweeted some stuff.
All Justin Timberlake basically said was like basically he was saluting Jesse Williams for making.
That's exactly what he said.
Job.
That's exactly what he said.
And then someone's like, it wasn't
Jesse Williams.
Your audience. I'm like, really? Like, I don't understand why that's a big deal. I still don't get that.
And I thought that was really interesting because
he looked more like Justin Timberlake than he looked like me. So I don't understand what the point is. Like,
yeah. And that's like basically exactly what his tweet said. He said like, salute Jesse Williams, like I respect you, whatever.
It wasn't even a whole sentence. It was like 4 words. Like,
yeah. And a hashtag. And like Black Twitter went nuts, and they were like, "Oh yeah, like this wasn't meant for you, like blah blah blah. You out of pocket, this, that, and the third."
And that's the problem right there.
Yeah,
you got somebody from the other side trying to support what he's saying, but then y'all want to get mad at him.
Somebody with power, someone with authority in our society, and someone who has the ability to actually make change happen and listen change. Because let's not kid ourselves. Civil rights was a movement that we started. You know who passed the bill? Lyndon B. Johnson. He wasn't black.
So, and that's the point. Like we need allies like on the other side. Yeah.
Robert Kennedy, who also wasn't black. So this whole us them thing, that's what I was saying. It's just you on one side or the other thing is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
NAACP, all that had a bunch of like Jewish people like starting it with us, like founding members.
They started it. No more blacks started that.
Yeah, like they were founding members of that. Like we need people like on the other side, like people.
We need everybody from every side.
Yeah. Like we can't alienate all these people who are gonna help us like push our movement forward. Like that's
white people run Black Lives Matter.
That's
true. That's true. That's not no opinion. That's true. White people run Black Lives Matter.
So when you say run, what does that mean? Like the CEO of Black Lives Matter is a white person?
People who started it.
Well, hey, listen to this. I don't know how true this is, but according but apparently Stacey Dash calls Jesse Williams the Hollywood plantation slave.
She's the airhead that you played on.
Stacey Dash calls Jesse Williams a Hollywood plantation slave. Said his powerful BET speech was an attack on white people.
Yo, like Stacey Dash, I've never seen someone so attractive that I'm not attracted to anymore. Like
it's funny because her and her cousin on like 2 opposite ends of the spectrum.
Her cousin is Dame Dash. Let's just. I mean,
and he's
her cousin Dame Dash speaks about, I guess, black empowerment through business and blacks owning things and controlling the culture of hip hop and just media. And his cousin is like,
this was
I don't even know how to explain. His cousin is.
She said BET is keeping racism and segregation alive, and this past Sunday's award show proves it.
So she said something that to me, she made a point, and I actually agreed with her, but she missed the entire point when she made the point. So basically what she was saying was that if we're going to have black entertainment television, we need to have white entertainment television. We need to have Mexican entertainment television.
We have that, though.
Hold on, no. That's what I said. What she's saying, I agree with. Everyone needs to be able to have a platform to say and do the things that they want to do. But again, the bigger point is we have 98% of the content that we consume is white entertainment television. So the point that she was making completely missed the point. Like to say we have black this, so we need white that. Well, we've had, I mean, for every one black thing we have 1,000. Like I was telling somebody this the other day. If you remember when we was kids.
Watch BET though. Like I feel like honestly,
that was the first time I watched BET all year.
Probably more white folks watching it now.
Well, at this point,
I feel like those video networks are kind of in a bind because you think about when they started, it was for you to watch videos.
Yeah.
Now with the internet and all these different like streaming services and blog sites, it takes away the reason to watch those networks.
And
So
it's
now
not
they
even
get
that, but
to
artists don't even use it like they used to use. Like artists used to come to 106 and Park to premiere videos. Now with Vivo,
just
no
get a
one
World Star Hip Hop.
You know the weird thing about it though is MTV says that they're going back to their music roots, which kind of is like
at 2 a.m.
It's too
No,
late.
like,
We're past it.
you know, they had like a whole bunch of like scripted
MTV
shows and
Jams,
stuff
yeah.
like that, and now they're going back to music.
They still
That's
eating
kind
off
of
16 and
weird.
pregnant. That's what they eat off of at this point.
I think they
And
were a little ahead
Catfish.
of the curve with Real
And
World. That
Catfish.
was one of the first reality shows. They were a little bit
They were
ahead.
ahead of the curve, but they didn't profit off of it the way that people are profiting off it now. So that's the thing, because to me, the original reality show was Cops. That's the best
Yeah, it
reality
is.
show.
No, that's
of
the
all
first
time.
one.
Right, that's real.
You're right. That's the first one, literally. If you
Literally,
study the
bro.
history of television,
Bad
that's the
Boys,
first one.
but they branded it, everything.
For real though.
I don't even like Cops, and I like that show. Like,
You're right, David. If you study the history of television, that's
Absolutely.
the first reality
I'm
show.
not just
You're
talking
right.
out my mouth. So,
No, he's right.
other platforms. So, for instance, and I'll give y'all, this is a true story. So, at my job, because I work in finance, everybody's office has a TV in it because we have to be able to follow the stock market to see what's going on.
Right.
So, this dude, whenever people who I
Watch
see,
it fancy.
huh?
Go ahead.
I am actually, but this guy basically, when he gets tired of watching the stock market, like he turns to different channels. This white guy, 30 years old, his parents are both, millionaires, etc. He turned to BET Jams. Now I was out the room. I came back in, and it was some Ashanti video was on, and I was like, dog, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Like, he's like, man, just better than watching CNBC. I'm like, well, technically, but I don't know. Then he was like, oh, we're going to go to lunch. We'll see you later. I'm like, you're not going to leave me in this room with BET Jams on TV. They come in, they going to say,
I'm trying to bond with you.
what are you doing? Hey, on the
That's what they do though.
He was setting you up, bro. He
Hey,
was setting you up, man. He was setting you up,
He
man.
was, because I'm like, they come because then like some, I think like some Nas, The World Is Yours or something came on, and then he does play Biggie from time to time to try to relate to me, which he do know the original Big Jam, so I do mess with that. But like you're right though, a lot more white people watch this content than we do, especially at this point. Like when Rap City Basement was on and they was playing Girlfriends on every day, and even The Game when that was the content on there, yeah, we was watching it. But now I couldn't tell you what's on BET for 10
Being
hours.
Mary Jane.
No, God.
Oh, that was something else Jesse
First
brought
Prince
up
of
too.
Bel-Air reruns.
Yeah. I got all the bike sets, so I don't even watch it for that.
Oh, snaps.
He was
Yeah,
talking
they
about,
messed up.
I guess,
Go ahead, Mark.
he was
I wanna
talking about how like, because I think that's why they was getting mad too, because he was saying like how white people pretty much they look at us as our culture and they say, oh, they thugs and this and that, but then they come over and try to take that and pretty much do the same thing, and now it's okay, but we do it and they came from us and this guy sagging his pants, he a thug, or he talk like this, this and that.
That's more of a
Bad.
society.
And
So
that's
they
what
would
he
try to
was-
wear a culture as a costume.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
but-
yeah.
Cultural appropriation.
But we allow that though.
I mean,
How can we stop it?
Yeah.
They control everything. How can we stop it?
No.
It's the same thing with all these young white kids going to Bonnaroo dressing up in like Indian headdress and everything.
No,
like,
it's not that. It's like
what are you supposed to do? How do you stop cultural appropriation?
no, it's not. It's not about the cultural appropriation. It's that we co-sign those things, right? So, for instance,
Do we?
no, because
Yeah, I agree.
I'll give you a
Let's see what
perfect
you gotta
example.
say. Let's see what you gotta
So
say.
you start
We
with a guy
do.
like Justin Bieber, and I like Justin. I don't know his music, but he out here, he's smashing NFL guys' girlfriends. Any guy who can do that from Canada, I support that. Like, when he said, listen, he smashed Deshaun Jackson's girl. Like
Wait,
that.
did he? Did he really?
After that, I was like, I rock.
I never heard about that.
Where'd you hear that
I
from?
never heard about that.
Where'd you hear that from?
TMZ, and we know they ain't lying. So they be catching people. No, TMZ
Put on
catch you in the eye.
TV,
I can't.
Okay.
He puts out his record, so he should
But
be
getting
able
back
to.
to what I was saying though.
Surely wants
So
All right.
Justin Bieber is profiting
I
off
never
of.
heard that story. That's
Okay,
funny.
hey, I'll show you the
That's
tape.
funny.
He had her in
What
Miami
he
in a
say?
Lambo.
What now?
He was getting it. But anyways, Justin Bieber is profiting off of hanging out with the little twist and the tigers and all that type of stuff. We're black people,
Who
artists.
black people don't even like.
No. But this is the point. No, this is what I'm saying. But black people are getting on songs with Trey Songz. Big Sean has done songs with him. Trey Songz
But
has
not
done
with
songs
Lil
with him.
Twist and not with what's the name?
I'm not talking about Lil Twist. I'm talking
I'm saying,
about
Justin
Lil
Bieber.
Twist and Tiger, like we don't respect it. That's all I'm saying. That's all
But I'm saying other artists
He
who
look like Tiger. So what you talking
Nicki Minaj did a record with him. That's what I'm saying. So it's like
that was a failed joke.
that's co-signing.
No, I'm talking about you dressed like him.
That was a failed joke.
That's
too.
what I'm saying. So
Thumbs down. You're better than that. You're better than that, Mario.
No, I get you. I get you.
You're
later.
better than that. Try again.
You know what, hey,
Proceed,
David?
David.
What you was
Proceed,
saying? No,
David.
what you saying makes sense though. 'cause
Proceed. My fault. My fault.
Have you seen the
I
new
didn't
show? Well, what's it called? You know the one that got Dame Dash and Birdman, all of them on
Music
there?
moguls.
that show was
Yeah,
so
yeah,
terrible.
that show.
Oh my god.
Music
So
moguls.
that made me think about Justin Bieber because, okay, JD trying to look
Yep.
for a new artist or whatever. Then they bring this old little, I don't know, he like 11-year-old scrawny little white boy in there
Yep.
to be his new artist for So
And he's
Def,
like-
and then
he's
he's like,
like, oh, you can do
being
it.
like,
I'm gonna write
like
you a
Bow
rap.
Wow and all that
Yeah.
stuff, you know.
Like,
I don't know, it's just
yeah, bro.
it's crazy, man. You know what I mean?
And the thing is that like you can't co-sign it one day and be okay with it, and then the next day be like,
Right.
oh, we went like you can't pick and choose. Like you have to be on one side or the other. And I'm not saying nothing wrong with doing records with Bieber. Like I said, I like him, but I'm just saying don't say that. Oh, we're depicted this way when we also co-signed it at the same time. It's just like this. Case in point, there is no reason in the world, black people should ever wear Tommy Hilfiger ever. When I see a black person wear a Tommy Hilfiger, like it just I don't know how you can like live with yourself. I just can't get it.
I give
But
you
we do it. They still buying it. They still rocking it. Why?
I think that goes to a bigger issue between a good amount of black people as far as like high class and low class and what's of value, and us aspiring to be a part of the high class and to associate with white people and have all these nice things
Then
and
where's Calvin
friends
Klein?
and everything. So it speaks to a bigger problem.
Then
I
where's
think.
Calvin Klein?
And
Don't-
where's Tommy Hilfiger? Is he in the
Word.
high class or low class? I'm trying to figure this out. What you trying to say?
Well,
Because
I'm not talking about Tommy Hill.
I'm talking about his clothing line.
But I'm talking specifically about co-signing that. Like for instance, he was a great artist. He's done a lot for music. You'll never see me listening to an Elvis Presley record because I don't support that at all.
Right.
Like
Okay, wait. I'm confused. You don't support his music or him as a being? Like, I guess.
Elvis Presley said, the only thing black people can do for him is shine the shoes and listen to his, buy his music. I'm never buying or listening to the music of a man who's gonna say that. Same with Tommy Hilfiger. All
Respect,
niggas can do,
respect.
all things black people can do is buy my clothes. I don't fuck with you, flat out.
Right.
When I see a black person wear Tommy Hilfiger, if you don't know that, I'm gonna educate you. Now, if you still choose to do that, then that's fine. I'll give you a
Right.
perfect case of an example. Hugo Boss. I like wearing Hugo Boss. I think this shit is fly. I was Googling one day, and I ended up finding out that Hugo Boss was actually one of the main contributors and supporters to the Germans during the Holocaust. And I said to myself, okay, do I continue to support this brand or do I not continue to support that brand? Is that something I stand for or I don't stand for? Yeah, he's been dead for I don't know how long. But again, you have to.
So do you still watch? Like,
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Okay, so that means you shouldn't be like watching ESPN or like ABC because like Disney was like sending money to the
Yeah,
whole
well,
like
they
They
that
were
was so
super
far. Like,
anti-Semitic.
but this
They were
was what
super
I'm saying.
anti-Semitic.
I didn't know that. So
The
now you're
clothes
educating me on that.
and
I'm saying I didn't know that.
okay,
Walt
but
Disney was
it's
a
so
racist.
far removed though. Like I can't hold them accountable. Like Walt Disney.
Tommy's still
He
alive.
believed that. Okay,
So-
no, I get that, but like, so you're talking about like Hugo Boss, like he was like, oh, he's dead and all that other stuff. Like same thing with like Disney. I'm not gonna stop
But I
watching
didn't know that.
ESPN.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I
wasn't
thought that was common knowledge.
Hey,
So
David.
I wasn't aware of that.
okay, well now you know, and you can
so
decide
David,
if you want to continue to watch it.
David, you just against the people who discriminate against other people. I'm just trying to figure that out. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I'm saying. I mean, I don't support.
If you don't have blue eyes, you don't have blonde hair. So I'm just trying to figure that out right now.
I'm aware I don't have blue eyes and blonde hair.
Okay, I'm just.
What I'm saying is that so I wouldn't want to support somebody who like I said, was against killing Jews. Like I don't think that's right. I don't think that's cool.
Not
So I don't
colorblind.
support that.
No, that's not what. Never mind.
No, I
Never
get what
mind.
you're saying. I understand what you're
You
saying.
get what I'm saying
It's
to you.
against anybody. Yeah, this isn't just a black thing.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
no. Yeah.
Cool. That's what I'm saying.
But I don't think that's right because the same way like what Cole was saying about Black Lives Matter was started about white people. I don't think that only people who are in a specific race or facing a specific issue, they should be the reason to support their cause. Because right is right and wrong is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, and I'm not saying everybody has to have it. That's what I was going back to what I was saying before, Maya. Yeah, there are certain things I stand for, something I don't stand for. Like, no, I'm not standing for like the police brutality, but I don't speak on that issue because I'm not actively doing anything for that. But what I do stand for and support is like education reform. So I get involved in education reform things. That's something I speak on because I'm actively involved in trying to help change that. You know what I'm saying? Here in Texas and nationally as well. But like that's why I say what I said about LeBron. Like if you want to speak on something, then do that. Because like the Jesse Williams speech, to me, it's not about him talking about black people. It's a call of action for someone who's actively involved doing that. He's trying to gather support for something he's doing. I have no problem with that. If he had been won a humanitarian award and he wasn't involved in those things, then to me that's blasphemy. Like, why are you talking? Because if you really cared about that, you'd be doing that. All the people who was clapping, who aren't involved in those and financially or with their time supporting those things, I don't want to hear what you got to say. But somebody who's doing it, I don't have no problem with him speaking on it. That's all I'm saying.
So all your Hugo, let me ask you, all your Hugo Boss stuff, did you throw it away?
I mean, it's in my closet, but I don't rock it. Can't just listen. Clothes cost too much money. I'm not throwing that away. That's real.
You better just swallow your pride and wear it, like you said. He
he wearing it. He wearing it.
Let me see you. Hugo Boss says you never hear it.
I switched it up. I didn't do the Kohan shoes. No, I can't. I had to switch it up. But,
just let him see your closet.
Mario just saying that because he's trying to get my shit. You see what I'm saying? He like, so.
I don't want it.
What's
I don't want
Hugo
Boss. I mean, so I'm
He said, I don't want to be racist.
I'm sure some of the stuff I wear, people say racist. The people who own it say racist stuff too, but I ain't looking it up, so I don't want to find out.
So that's also true. But no, so like a perfect example. What's her name? What's that white lady? Like Paula Deen.
That
Do
white.
we continue to watch her show? I didn't remember her name.
Well, I never watched Paula Deen, so.
But I'm just saying though,
I've never
right?
watched her neither.
Do you continue to support her? Like, that's what I'm saying. Where's the line?
If I never supported her from the beginning, I ain't gonna start now.
No, I agree with you, Mario, but I'm saying, I never watched it, but I'm saying if you was a black person who watched the show or bought her cookbooks or whatever, do you just throw the cookbook away or do you just, she apologized? You see what I'm saying? Like, where's the line?
I copied recipes I like and then throw it away.
Do you still? Okay, I can't.
I'm sure it's other people who cook and have shows, so you can go to other alternatives, I assume.
No, but here's the thing, because okay, as a person who cooks, who watched Paula Deen.
Yeah, and I know you're a culinary.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. And here's my thing, too, because, I let Oprah speak for me. And so Oprah was like, I forgive Paula Deen. So it automatically meant Maya forgive Paula Deen. So, that's just kind of how I am.
You use a celebrity person to
I don't mind
blend that together. Yeah. So celebrity influence. It got you, Maya. It got you. Celebrity influence.
Well, that's true. But at the same time, though, when you listen to, yeah, she had used the N-word in referring to, black people that she worked with. But, when asked about it, she was like, so did you ever use the N-word to, refer to black people? And the way that she, responded was well, yeah. Because, guess what? She's a white person that grew up in the South during a certain time. It's almost like...
Oh, no.
But it's still wrong. It's still wrong.
I didn't say that it wasn't wrong. But, the way that she answered it, it was all well, almost duh. Because... how old am I? When did I grow up?
I hear your point.
But see, okay, this is what I'm talking about drawing the line. No, I'm not getting on you, Mike. This is what I'm saying about drawing the line, okay? So Mario, I'm using you as an example because I know you know. We both grew up in families where dudes call women bitches all the time. So if I called you a bitch, Maya, and just said, "Oh, that's what I grew up hearing," and I'm just hearing women called bitches, you're not gonna make a pass for me and say, "Oh, that's just commonplace where he's from." You're gonna take offense to that. So when I hear that, I know somebody, I know a lot of people, especially, I didn't call you a bitch.
No. What I'm saying with Paula Deen, don't get me wrong.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, that's messed up. But just like you said, okay, so let's say you did call me the B-word, and there's almost not in a way to try to offend me, and then I was like, oh no, so I took offense to it. And I was like, don't call me that. You're like, oh my bad. It's kind of where I grew up hearing that all the time. I would have to take that into consideration. Yeah, it's a horrible word, but here's moving forward.
For real?
No, because I know it's
understand
repertoire. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing. Although I don't know Paula Deen, I grew up watching her, and it's almost like we have a repertoire. So
fair enough. Like I said, how D-Wade, we won the championship.
So there you go. I grew up watching her. I use her recipes. When I don't know how to do something, I want to fix something, I go to her website. You know what I'm saying? So in a way, I feel like just the way you feel like you and D-Wade have won championships,
But see, and
You
I
and Paul
understand.
D have
but
made great meals together. Like,
and
you know?
it may be some of my bias because I still live in Texas. But like when I hear people in Texas say like if their granddad or say like call me the N word or something like that, they be like, oh, people of just a certain time. That's just how they were. So like I don't like making excuses for people who do shit like that.
No,
Like,
no, no. But
I'm not okay.
so moving forward, like, so let's say you had called me the B word, right? Moving forward, after I told you, like, no, don't call me that.
Yeah.
If you were then changed your ways in the way that you like, you didn't realize that maybe that wasn't okay because you grew up hearing that. Moving forward, now you're on notice. Now you know you will not be calling me the B word.
Okay, so this is a question for everybody. If you had a friend who was white who you knew your whole life and they called you an N word, would you still be a friend with that person after they said it?
Like, you don't use that. So because we have a repertoire, I'm gonna put you on notice that that's not what you're calling
But y'all
me.
would still
Now, if
be
you do
cool.
it
That wouldn't
again,
affect your relationship. If they just said it one time and didn't do it again, it wouldn't affect your relationship.
but it has to do with the way that they came at me about it. Like, if you were just calling me a B word, like, just like it, not in like anger or something like that. If they call me the N word because they knew it was offensive and they're like trying to get to me, no, we would have some issues. Then we'd have to rebuild that repertoire in which we have so that we could be cool. But it's when I'm saying when Paula Deen was asked if she had called black people the N-word, the way that she like answered the question was all like, well, yeah, like, because it was that time. Like, I'm 70 something years old. Like, we almost thought that it was acceptable then. Now, once she came on notice that it wasn't acceptable, did she stop using it? Because the like whole thing took place like 40 years ago that she was being like questioned about today. So I feel like it just kind of depends.
Okay. Mario, what about you? Like, let's say Ed had said that to us. We still would have been cool with him?
I mean, yeah, it just would depends on how he would have said it. If it was in a like kind of back when Maya was saying, in an offensive way, then I'd be like, hold up for a second, you know. But if we just talking, you know, if you be around somebody, look, if you a white person, like okay, like Ed for instance, that's all he was around with black people. So if all your friends is black, you the only white boy, and everybody when they see each other say, "What up, my nigga?" to each other, and he so happened to say it because he used to hearing us all saying we hanging out with each other all day. I can't get mad at him for that.
You let him know that he can't say it though, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it's like okay.
And so if he keeps saying it, then there's a problem.
Right. You said it, but okay. Well, all right. You get this one time. That's it. You got the pass. But I mean, me, I don't really get too much offensive. I mean, I see it all day. You got white people, Hispanic people all day on all type of social media that say that word and just throw it around like it's nothing. And all they followers and friends be black people, and they just be talking to them back like it's nothing. So I feel like the word has died down somewhat. That it ain't as powerful as it used to be. So
that's a whole nother topic for another show.
I'm just saying though.
So everybody's opinion. So Jamie, you feel that same way?
I don't. I disagree. And I think just like coming up in like Florida and like hearing the stories from like my people and my godparents and like everything that they went through, like I just have like a different like perception of it. And I understand what y'all saying too, because I did have like white friends who grew up around like all black people, and that's all they heard was like us saying, "Hey, what's up, my nigga?" Blah 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 blah. But then I heard like all my grandparents and like my godparents and all the older people like, "Nah, this is like where we came from too." So I was like always the person who, "Hey, bro, like you can't say that," because it hit me a little bit more personally because I heard these stories. So I was like, "Hey, man, like I don't feel comfortable with you saying that. Like it's kind of weird. Like I don't, yeah."
But after you put them on notice, did they stop doing? Or like say like if you put them on notice and they don't do it anymore, could you still be cool? Or like
yeah, like it happened several times. Like in Florida, like a lot of times, like I would tell my white friends, but most of them were like, "Yo, it's like all black people, so they're gonna say it regardless." And I was just like, "Ah, man, it's kind of weird, but you my dude. Like we've been people, yeah, it's kind of weird."
That's what I'm saying though. How can you?
But then when I got to Texas, like it's a whole different situation because like it was two like completely different upbringings. So like when I got to Texas, it was like almost a different kind of white people who were saying it. Like I don't know if that makes sense to y'all, but
no,
like,
I know what
yeah,
you're
I know,
saying.
yeah, like,
Explain that.
I know what he's saying.
we understand.
like
Colton's the only Texan, that's why he's saying that.
okay, like in Florida, like Yeah, like in Florida, like I was right. I never grew up in the hood, as all of y'all know, I'm sure. But like in Florida, I was close enough to the hood. I was like right in the middle of the hood and the burbs. Like it was a mix. When I got to Texas, like it was all suburbs. It was like all super like
We've
well
been
off.
to
Like,
your house. We know.
yeah. You know. So like it's like a different kind of white kids in Texas that I grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
And so when they said like, oh yeah, my nigga, I was like, hey, no, like you can't do that. Because they definitely didn't grow up around that many black people, and they definitely like really didn't like understand what it was all about. So I don't know, it was just like I don't know. It was a fine line, I guess.
What you think, C?
Oh man, I don't know, man. I have mixed feelings about it. I think where black people messed up at, that word has always been a racial epithet. We try to turn it into a term of endearment. So I think that's where we messed up at, trying to flip it. And then we say it through media and through rap music. And then there's multiple people that listen to rap music as far as various races. So when they hear, well, I hear it in rap music, I hear it in the culture. Well, no, you can't say it because now you got a problem because it was something negative. We tried to turn it into a positive. Well, we probably should have just deaded it and kept it negative. But we tried to flip it now so much in the fabric. It's going to always be a problem because a good amount of black people can't say the word. It's so much in their dialect. That's the first word they say when they speak to someone. The first 2 or 3 words. So that's the problem.
But here's the thing, though. Right. Here's the thing. Because with me personally, like, I'll be honest. If I'm cool with somebody who's a white person, they say it, like, we're not going to be cool after that. Like, even if you never say it again, like, because I feel like it's just one of them lines you don't cross. Like you said, see, yeah, it's in the music. But you know what else is in rap music? It's fuck the police. And talking about police brutality. I don't see white people running around repeating that.
But I look at it like this.
That's different.
Hey, hold on. It's bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks, but you ain't saying that to your mama, though. You can somehow control yourself to say it to somebody else. But the only words you can't control yourself from saying is N-word because I hear it so much. That ain't the only thing that's being said.
But they've never tried to change hoes and tricks into, at least.
Yeah, it is.
We
got slut. Amber Rose is talking about stop slut shaming. We can stop slut shaming, but we can't stop saying N-word.
Even the B word is a term of endearment.
That's a different argument too. That's how.
Back to what Cole was saying.
Obviously, with you guys. So I know that we always have like a lot to talk about. That probably for like another show because
that is another show.
We're on. So how do y'all want to close it out today? Because I know we had different ideas. Somebody choose.
Talk about this. Can we talk about this brands thing? Because I really want to talk about that.
Brands?
That's for next time.
Next week.
Part of the Jesse Williams speech talking about the brands and stuff like that, and we need to stop buying that and going to Jay's and getting them is wrong. Like, I just think that's so interesting to me.
Okay, so let's say that.
I think it goes back to one of my
next week
previous
we talking about brands.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it goes back to one of my previous arguments about if you're from the lower class, you aspire to be a part of the high class. So the high class are rocking these brands, you're going to aspire to rock those brands.
But why don't? But
I don't think I've ever seen anybody who could actually afford Jordans wear Jordans. But that's just
I don't agree with that.
But they stand outside every Saturday morning at Compton because it's a high brand.
But this is the thing. Jordan ain't doing 1.3 billion in sales because only black people and only Hispanic people of lower class are buying them. So that's why it's always to me it's like I said, if a black person buys Louis Vuitton, they trying to stunt. If a white person buy it, he can just afford it. We both want the same thing from that brand. So I don't get that. Like, I just never will understand.
So that's the topic for next time.
Sorry. Okay. So how are we closing this one out?
I guess we could tell them stories we was telling yesterday about our favorite memories.
I thought you were going to say something else.
No, I wasn't. Mario, no, Chief, no.
Okay, since there are 5 of us each pick somebody and do the story about it and then close out.
Okay.
So everybody has to be talked about. So.
All right, you go first since you're talking already.
No, it wasn't my idea. David always gets first, so his idea. I got to think about it. Pick somebody, David.
I'm gonna give a story about. Colton, real quick. This is when I knew me and Colton could actually be real friends. We was in the dorms my freshman year. It was right after President Obama got elected, and I was watching television with my roommate next door and his girlfriend, and some people who were unhappy about the president's election came in a hall and they yelled some epithets that they was upset about. And me being my young self at 18, I was very angry and irate, and so I stormed out the room, and I was going to go down to this person's room and let them know how I felt about what they said. Well, there was 3 people in the room, and I was solo dolo, so I said, let me go get backup. So I knocked on a homie C's door, and I said, look, this is what happened. This is what I'm gonna do. You better have my back, or I'm gonna come get you later. And C was down for the count. And so after that night, I said we can be friends. So shout out to you, C. You the real MVP.
C always
Man,
down.
I didn't even know you was serious until you knocked on the door and you rolled up your sleeve and took off your watch. I'm like, oh, he ain't playing. And in my mind, I'm thinking, if he knocks out one guy, I gotta knock out the other two because it's still 2 versus 3. So I'm like, they open the door, I gotta just knock out the second and third guy.
So that's when me and Colton became real friends.
Hey, C always down. Remember that night with Kavan when we went to go, oh boy?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Always down. Yeah,
All right,
that was pretty
Colton.
funny.
So pick somebody.
I'm gonna go with my boy David, man. I just, the first time I met him, man, he was just kind of standoffish, but you know, I guess over time, you know, just talking to him, because me and him were like, what, 2 out of 4 black people that lived in the basement area in Milton Daniel, and just was chopping up with him. Yeah. I just found out, you know, he was a cool brother, down to earth, was about his business, and he always was, you know, like that the whole time I knew him. So he was a good brother.
There you go. Okay, who's going next? Rio?
No, somebody else go before me. I'm still trying to figure out.
All right, Jamie, you have Rio and me. Choose somebody.
I was trying to figure it out too.
Tell us how you really feel.
I don't know. I still don't have any stories about like any first stories. About
No,
It's gotta be your first story.
Just pick a story.
Yeah.
Still got nothing.
Damn, Rio, we boring as hell.
Okay,
You ain't got nothing to talk about.
It's just like 2 minutes.
Okay.
I don't want to put anything out there.
It's all right. He just said we was boring. It's all right.
I go. So
Y'all are
I'm
boring.
gonna go with Maya. So the first time I met her was with Jamie. Was at the Blue, and I don't know. Me and Jamie was over there having some kind of weird conversation, and Maya was like, got the look on her face she got now, like, what's wrong with you dudes, you know? And so the first impression probably wasn't that good, but her being the person that she is, she still stuck around, and we became real good friends. I actually started hanging out with her more than I started hanging out with y'all. And
I don't know how true that is, but okay.
yeah, it was.
Well, y'all graduated, especially after y'all graduated, we were still around. So,
Yeah, so, you know.
Yeah.
That
My
extra
number one.
year, yeah.
So I got to learn the names of her pet stuffed animals.
Wow.
We got super personal.
okay. I went through a phase
that's like-
my
that's
last
like
year
you
where
and
I was
Momo.
kind of
That's
like
like you and
walking
Momo.
around with a stuffed giraffe
Momo and Mumu.
thing.
Oh yeah.
Don't
So that's
forget
something
Mumu,
you and
yeah.
Jamie got in common. He just ride around with his in the car. You
Okay, at
leave
least mine is cute though. Like it's just.
yours at
Oh,
home.
hold on.
so-
Talk about. You're not gonna
I
talk like more.
So I have a story now. I can go about
You're not
Jamie.
gonna talk like
First
Momo
time I
and
rode in the
Mumu
car
are
with Jamie.
completely adorable. Like they're not completely adorable.
Okay, I don't know which one it was, but I just remember getting in the car with Jamie, and there was this gremlin that was like looking back at me, and I was
He's a
like
lemur.
legitimately
He's a
terrified.
lemur, first of
And I
all.
was like, okay, can we like put that in the back or something like that? He's like, no, this is his seat. Like he was like,
Yeah.
I couldn't move it. And the whole ride, I felt like he was looking at me with his little beady eyes, and I felt some type of way.
Big
So
eyes.
there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. It was scary looking. And like
Not
you have to
scary.
think of gremlins, like when they
Yo,
get
he's
water
coming to the
thrown
next
on them.
podcast. He's coming to the next podcast. True story.
Okay. Anyway,
True story.
Good
All
story.
right, Jamie, you last.
you gotta tell something about Rio. He laughed before. It has to be good. It has to be good.
I mean, it's not like super serious. It's just like one of like the normal days or whatever. But I just remember like us. It was like me, Mario, and Kodak, and we were all like sitting around like just rapping and freestyling. And Lovers and Friends.
Oh,
Lovers
wow.
and Friends with a song.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and we wrote like a whole song to it. Still need to release it. Still need to get in the studio and make it
I think
happen.
that to happen.
Because it's definitely going #1 on the charts.
And then we could have music. Cause y'all would
Yeah, because we own it. We own it,
Then-
yeah.
Well, we had one more other person that was on the song with us though, so I guess Maya gonna have to substitute.
Yeah, we're gonna have to switch up the chorus a little bit, but
I don't think y'all want
Yeah.
that. We on that. Come for you.
Well, I got one final
I
memory.
still remember my verse too, by the way.
Oh gosh.
I'm sure it was
Wow.
Cold. That's the realest on the song.
whatever.
Hands down.
But no, I got one last memory, and that's just when all of us got together and did our radio show. So that was good
We're
times.
back.
I'm glad we all got together, and I'm glad we're back together. So
Real
Shout out
talk
to
was
you.
on to the underground.
So
Mhm.
now let's try to, not be on CP time next time and just.
Okay, we were having some technical difficulties. We got it. So what we're going to continue to do? 1 o'clock. No wait.
3
Yeah,
o'clock.
1 o'clock.
Yeah,
my
you're right.
time.
Yeah, 1 o'clock your
Okay,
time.
there you go.
Yeah.
So I will make sure that we are on that. I think that I got it now with the help of Jamie. We figured that out. So
You got all the controls and everything.
you know,
Yeah.
I'm still
the
working on the
volumes,
control board,
the
but
volumes and the mutes and all. Yeah.
yeah. So I think we're ready. So we want to close out. Say the one last.
I just want to ask one thing: who's one over y'all over got people running in out your house? Because I've been hearing this door slam for like the past 30 minutes.
James,
Well, he do got about 30 people there. He live in refuge. So.
Yeah.
that's that project list.
I got roommates. We still got people over from the barbecue yesterday. Like,
Oh, y'all got it.
we out here living, yeah.
Live at the barbecue.
We out here living.
All right.
All right, David, end it with a quote.
I ain't got a good quote today, but choose to be better than you were yesterday.
There
I'm
you
done
go.
with that. All right. Well, that was the underground. Next Sunday.
Next Sunday.
All right.
Next Sunday,
Yeah.
baby.
Peace.
Bye.